नमस्कार। सभागार में उपस्थित सभी वरिष्ठ वैज्ञानिकों, अतिथियों एवं सहकर्मियों का हार्दिक स्वागत है। जैसा कि आप सभी को ज्ञात होगा कि आज हम यहाँ आज़ादी के अमृत महोत्सव के अंतर्गत पृथ्वी दिवस 2023 के अवसर पर एकत्रित हुए हैं। शुभम करोति कल्याणम आरोग्यम धन संपदा शत्रु बुद्धि विनाशया दीपा ज्योति नमोस्तुते, which means let us fold hands before the light that brings prosperity, auspiciousness, good health, abundance of wealth, and destroys darkness. With these words, I request the secretary, our senior scientists and dignitaries to please light the lamp to mark an auspicious beginning to this event and invoke Goddess of Knowledge, Saraswati, to bless us all. Please, sir. Thank you all. As we all may be aware that Earth Day, April 22, has been celebrated world over since 1970 to not only raise awareness about environmental issues, but also to instill ownership amongst one and all towards protection of Mother Earth and its natural resources. Akin to these, the theme of Earth Day 2023 is Invest in Our Planet. Being the Earth Science Ministry, elaborate preparations and programs were undertaken by us to ensure that maximized community participation is there in this event. Proposals from schools, colleges and universities were invited for conducting events to celebrate the Earth Day 2023. These events had to necessarily include planting of saplings or sowing of seeds by children. Moreover, the participation of girls, differently abled students, and entries from aspirational districts were encouraged. Out of these, in response to this call, an overwhelming response of over 150 proposals was received by the ministry. Out of these, 54 proposals have been supported by the ministries, leading to celebration of Earth Day at 70 places all over India, and that the celebrations will take place tomorrow. So today, as we begin the celebrations here, and it gives me immense pleasure to share that renowned researcher Professor R. Shankar from University of Mangalore agreed to be our esteemed guest today for this event and is here with us today. Thank you, sir, for accepting our request. अब मैं सचिव पृथ्वी विज्ञान मंत्रालय डॉक्टर आर रविचंद्रन से निवेदन करती हूँ कि वे पुष्पगुच्छ प्रदान कर प्रोफेसर आर शंकर का स्वागत करें एवं स्वागत भाषण भी दें।
Very good morning to all of you. And first of all, of course, it is tomorrow. Happy Earth Day to all of you. I always feel that Earth Day is it is like just our Mother Earth. It is a body. It is like life. It is having life. So I look at it in different three aspects of Earth. As you all know, that one is atmosphere. So if we see that in the atmosphere, like us, when you grow older, or it is our body is corrupted, then what we feel is our breathing habit changes. Similarly, in the earth system, in the atmosphere, when it is been polluted or it is been changes the system, our breathing habits of Mother Earth is changes. The seasonal reversal of winds, you take it, or atmosphere warming, you take it. So everything is changing. So our ministry is one of the main aspects to understand the process. So we are the doctors of Mother Earth. So our job is to understand the Mother Earth and what is happening, what are the bad things are happening, how to correct it. That is what our job. And atmosphere, as I told, that the breathing habit is changes. As we grow old, you see that when a child is there, you see, watch carefully the breathing habits. When we grow older, we have been, our happiness reduces and our breathing habits are changes. Similarly, Mother Earth, when you polluted more, this wind pattern and everything is changes. And second thing is in the ocean side also, basically the ocean become warm and it has become heated much faster than what is expected. And similarly, like our body, the temperature we always see, the doctors see the temperature. Any illness are happening, the temperature shows you have some, your body temperature is warmer. Like that, the ocean is become warmer. And we see that now it is happening. Whatever is happening is warm ocean is happening. And glaciers are solid side also, glaciers are melting, sea ice is depleting. And for making awareness, hey, I am there, like that, to tell to every humankind, then and there more and more earthquakes also coming and going out. So all the three state of matter is giving enough warning. The Mother Earth is changing, so we have to take care. So we need to have a conserve, as well as we need to have the change of climate, what is happening. It is all because of us. Similarly, our body, whatever is change is happening, our habit, whatever habit is changes, because of that we get illness. So similarly, Mother Earth also, we need to change our habit back to circle. So I think for that our ministry is working towards to understand the process with the various observing systems, both the institute as well as satellite, and try to see what we can. Of course, one of the things is predictability, but at the same time we want to back to the normal. What is that best we can do if it is changes? So that way we are looking at it. I think this year's theme is invest in our planet. I think we need to invest, maybe not only for planting or anything, but I think we need to invest our knowledge. Maybe we need to have more and more understand our Mother Earth. That itself basically investment. With this, I think if more and more knowledge we get from the Mother Earth, then we will be able to safeguard for the future generation for the Mother Earth, because this is not for only for us, it is for the entire future generation. We have to keep our Mother Earth intact. So with this, I think once again I wish you all happy Earth Day, and I sincerely thank Professor Shankar for coming forward to give a talk on this Earth Day things, and thank you all for coming for this, attending this particular day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for very aptly, in very simple words, describing the real issues which we have. Now, though the achievements of our illustrious guest speak volumes about him, still, I would request Dr. Gopal Iyengar, Senior Scientist and Program Head, to formally introduce Professor R. Shankar to the gathering, and also invite him to deliver the popular lecture.
सभी को नमस्कार. Very good afternoon to all of you. And it's my proud privilege to introduce Dr. R. Shankar, professor from Mangalore University. And his area of specialization is paleoceanography, marine estuarine geochemistry, and environmental magnetism. He has guided many PhD students and has published more than 65 research papers. And currently he is the vice chair of the International Geoscience Education Organization and one of the founding members of the in the country for the Earth Science Olympiad. As you all know, that Ministry of Earth Sciences supports this activity, and he is one of the, I think, the persons who have been involved in this Earth Science Olympiad since the beginning. And as you all know, that many of the students, they do well in this Earth Sciences Olympiad. And he has been conferred with many awards. The prominent among them is the National Millennial Award in 1994 by the Government of India, and the Sir C.V. Raman Award in 1998 by the Government of Karnataka. As our Secretary Dr. Ravichandran very rightly mentioned, that we need to invest in knowledge, and probably we have the most, I think we're very fortunate to have him here, as he has been very currently involved with a lot of the awareness program among the students of Karnataka. And yesterday we were talking that he has got involved in many programs, and probably that is the need of our. We need to inculcate the knowledge of earth sciences in the young people, and that's what we were talking, that probably a time has come where we need to get this earth sciences as a curriculum in all our NCERT books also, and probably that is the right time to go. And even yesterday, he is not only a nationally acclaimed scientist, but internationally acclaimed scientist also. Yesterday, among all these things, he gave a talk to the scientists of Togo. It's a country in West Africa, sitting here. And so that's really, we are really fortunate to have him here. And I request Dr. R. Shankar to come and deliver the talk today. Thank you.
Namaskar. Can you hear me? Yes. The last row people, can you hear me? Sunai de raha hai? Yes. Very good. Many thanks, Dr. Gopal, for your kind words of introduction. Thiru Dr. Ravichandran, Dr. Iyengar, Dr. Singh, Dr. Khare, Dr. Aparna. There are so many others whose names I will not be able to take, but a very good afternoon to all of you. First of all, I must say that it is such a great pleasure to be back in the Ministry of Earth Sciences. The ministry, which was earlier the Department of Ocean Development, which has supported my research at Mangalore University, and the instruments that we bought, magnetic instruments that we bought with your funds, are still working with a bit of repairs. It's about nearly 30 years old, but they are still working. Thanks for all that. And as Dr. Gopal said, the ministry has also been supporting my baby called the International Earth Science Olympiad from the very beginning. Not the very beginning, but the first day it was the Homi Bhabha Center for Science Education, Mumbai, that supported, and subsequently the ministry, of course. So thanks for all the support that you've been giving in activities that I have loved doing all these years. Once again, I would like to thank you, Dr. Ravichandran, and the ministry for your gracious invitation to me to come and speak today. Give him and the ministry a big hand in appreciation of his thought. Thank you so much. So this is my talk, Earth Science and Society. You know, Earth Day is observed every year on 22nd of April. I'll not go into the details, the background as to why this came to be observed as Earth Day, but I'll distill the essence of the whole thing in terms of 2 or 3 aspects. Number 1, the environmental degradation and pollution that is happening, and the need to preserve and conserve our environment, right? Secondly, the problem of resource depletion. we are consuming too many things and too much of these too many things. So we are depleting our resources. And thirdly, as a result, we have this climate change. So the thing is, all of you are a very well informed audience, and if I go on detailing all these aspects, it will be demeaning your intelligence. So I won't go into all of those details. What I'll do is I'll pour out my thoughts on how we can combat these problems. It's my own thoughts, okay? Some are very well known, but please bear with me with some of these suggestions. A common approach can be adopted in tackling these issues, but this common approach can be done at 3 levels. First, at the national level, the nation as a whole, societal and industrial level, and thirdly, at the individual level. Because in my opinion, each person can contribute to climate change or need not contribute to climate change. We are all responsible people, and our actions have got to be responsible so that we will not deplete resources, we will not pollute the environment as much as possible. So first, let's see environmental conservation and preservation. Of course, it's well known that we need to switch over to renewable sources of energy, because the main energy source right now is fossil fuels, namely the coal, petroleum and natural gas. And we are pumping a lot of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, and it is causing greenhouse effect, global warming and all the undesirable effects. So switch to renewable sources of energy like solar energy, wind energy, ocean energy, green hydrogen. But I'm not very sure of electric vehicles, which is the in thing nowadays. By using electric vehicles, we're only shifting the place of pollution. We don't want too much obnoxious gases in Delhi, so put EV vehicles here, electric vehicles. But somewhere else where the energy was produced, it's already polluted. So I don't believe in this EV stuff very much. This is my personal opinion. You may say that, look Shankar, you don't live in Delhi and we know what happens in Delhi. So I do understand that point and appreciate it, but anyway. In this context, India has done extremely well. This International Solar Alliance, for example, the Ministry of Earth Sciences has been supporting ocean energy through NIOT. That's very nice. And it's also fantastic news that India is planning to become a carbon neutral country by 2070, which is a very lofty ideal, and I am sure that if all of us work well, I'm not going to be there by 2070 definitely, but maybe I'll live for another 30 years. So let's hope that we will become a carbon neutral country, not only us but the entire world. Then coming to resource conservation. I am sure that some of the people in the audience are not earth scientists, geologists, right? Can I ask you to raise a hand if you're not a geologist? Yes, some. Okay, thank you. Okay, Dr. Ravichandran himself, being very honest, raised his hand. So let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that food resources are renewable. We can grow crops, we can grow vegetables, fruits every season, every year, correct? Yes or no? Yes. But mineral resources, no. Once you mine them and utilize them, they are gone forever. And for another similar mineral deposit to form, it will take millions of years. I repeat, millions of years. Right? So that is why mineral resources are non-renewable, and we have got to preserve them, conserve them. Not only mineral resources, I would say that we must conserve all types of resources. What I mean is, don't waste anything. Don't waste energy resources, don't waste food resources. I would like to give the example of my grandmother. She lived for 98 years. She ate only 2 meals a day. And every meal she ate, she used to wash her plate with water, drink that water, do it twice. So the idea was not to waste a single grain of rice. So that is the type of concept people had in the earlier times. No wasting anything. And that's the way I was brought up. So I don't leave anything in my plate. Although I don't do that, ritual of washing the plate with water and drinking. I did that at home after I got married, but my wife blasted me, please don't do it, Shankar. I said, okay, I won't do it. But I certainly don't, waste any food. Okay, then when it comes to resource conservation on Environmental Day, what is the slogan? Reduce, reuse and recycle, correct? This is the usual stuff that we hear every single Environment Day. That's good enough actually, but I would say add refuse in the beginning. Many times, we don't need something, but we still use it, we accept it. One example is enough. How many people can refuse to use a paper napkin? Raise your hands. How many people can refuse? Not many? Otherwise, it's so important for you. Don't you carry a hanky? I very rarely use the paper napkin. I refuse. So I gave you just one example. There are several examples through which we can say that I do not want this. Think about it in later days. So refuse. And then reduce, reuse and recycle. That should be our philosophy. So when we refuse things, we not only conserve the resource, but we also conserve the environment, because every product that we use has already polluted the atmosphere, has polluted the environment, right? One example is Earth Hour. You know this concept that on a particular day between 8 and 9 p.m. throughout the world, people are asked to shut out the lights, right? But after this Earth Hour is over, throughout the night in big cities including Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, New York, London, lots of lights are put on by buildings, by shopping complexes throughout the day, throughout the night. Now what is the meaning of Earth Hour? It's only for 1 hour we do it. That's not correct. So every hour should be Earth Hour. And I put Ukraine war. So after Ukraine war started, Europe did not get enough energy from Russia. So they suffered. And then they stopped, burning these lights in the night. I'm sure you must have read in the papers. So do we want a situation like that? Dire conditions when we realize that we don't have enough energy and then we start conserving? No. Even before that, we should realize the importance of energy resources and try to conserve them. Another example is, on a particular day, we clean up all the beaches. On this particular day, Earth Day, we plant saplings. What about consumerism? Is what is happening. This is a Western concept, basically. What does it mean? It means you eat more and more, you consume more and more. No, I don't drink this mineral water. Yes, I don't drink mineral water. Only during flights, it's inevitable I drink, but when there is a choice, I drink tap water. Honestly, tap water, not even RO water. Don't drink RO water, which Hema Malini advertises. RO water सबसे केंट मिनरल, सबसे शुद्ध पानी. लेकिन हेमा मालिनी जी नहीं जानते हैं कि ये RO वाटर डेंजरस है, क्योंकि उसमें सारे मिनरल्स जो हैं निकाले गए हैं. So please do not drink RO water. That's my suggestion. Anyway, so coming back to consumerism, the concept is you consume more and more, and we are following it. What is the result? There is degradation of environment, because the more we consume, we have already polluted the atmosphere more and more. And another result is poor quality of air, water, soil, poor health, poor everything. Your life is poor. In the earlier times, the concept was simple living, high thinking. It was simple living and high thinking, and there was this concept of frugal lifestyle. People used to manage with very little things. But today, what do we see? Today, it is expensive and unsustainable way of living, right? I'm sure some of you or most of you would have seen earlier generation and the present generation, so you can compare and contrast the lifestyle. And also today there is low or no thinking, right? And then we are spendthrifts. You go to a mall, हाँ वो देखा वो अच्छा है, उसको खरीद लो अगर आपको चाहिए कि नहीं वो अलग बात है. See, this is the way we are doing. We are spendthrifts. You just see how we are changed and how this is impacting our environment. Then there is something that I want to say, the tussle between environmentalists and economists. These are my personal opinions, but you may differ, but this is what I feel. Economists say that the GDP should grow. How will you make it grow? Put more. Thank you so much. ये सबसे शुद्ध पानी है. Thank you. So economists say that you put more money into people's pockets, not free of course, and what happens? There will be more spending, there will be more consumption. Am I right? This is what economists say. And then your economy grows, your GDP grows. So why? Because consumer spending is a big part of GDP. This part I learnt only yesterday. I googled and found out what is the exact meaning of GDP, and it says consumer spending is a huge part of GDP. So this is what they say. I'll give another simple example. You own a car in a business. You're a doctor, you're a professional. You own a car. And our income tax department says that rules say that you can take out depreciation. 33% every year you can depreciate. So that much of your income is reduced. So you pay less income tax. So what people do is every 3 years they go on changing their vehicle. So new vehicle means more depreciation, because new vehicle will cost more. So you are making people buy more and more even when things are good. Of course you will sell it and all that, but still it's the matter I'm trying to make is, the point I'm trying to make is that we are producing more and more unnecessarily in order to improve the economy, make the economy grow. My question is, with such an approach, is environmental conservation possible at all? So that is where a war takes place between environmentalists and economists. Then the third aspect is climate change. I'm so glad that a lot of tumblers of water is coming, not the mineral water. Thank you so much. So at this rate, I'm very sure that the ministry is going to do a lot of things, not just with plain water, but several other things that I'll propose later on in my talk. So the third is climate change. You all know what climate change is. And one of the important things that has happened is global warming and all its myriad effects, ill effects. And natural disasters are going to happen with a higher frequency and with more intensity for sure. It's as though Mother Earth is hitting us with vengeance. It has already started. We see wildfires, snowfall, excessive and untimely rainfall, floods, dust storms, heat waves, you name it, and everything is happening now. So there are so many things that are happening in climate change. I will not go into all of those details. It is just to say that climate change is a reality. It is happening to us, and it will happen to our children, grandchildren, and all of those things. But what is the way forward? One is bring about awareness among common people. When I say common people, I include all of these things. The general public, the parents, the politicians, bureaucrats, policymakers. How? Through posters. Prepare good posters, attractive posters, put down important points and educate them. This is what is happening, this is what we need to do. Organize exhibitions, put up your stalls, deliver talks, have discussions, prepare booklets and distribute and make them aware. That's the only way. Because people do not know all of these aspects. I would say another thing, our IAS recruits, new recruits go to the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration. And these are the people that will man all departments in the country. How much of earth science do they know? Do they know that the earth is one system comprising of different subsystems, how they interact, the exchange of matter and energy among all of these spheres, and how our actions are impacting the environment. So a little bit of exposure to these IAS recruits can be highly useful when they start their careers. This is just one example. The second item is proper education for school children. Catch them young. Even when they are growing up, we should put in their tiny heads, which is capable of absorbing and understanding a lot of things, that our earth is one system. We must not think that it is one solid earth only, but atmosphere, hydrosphere, all of these combined, cryosphere included, in which biosphere lives, including all of us, right? So that is one important thing. And how do we do it? Unfortunately, hello? Somebody said something? I didn't hear you. Anyway. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, there is no earth science subject in school syllabus. There is physics, there is chemistry, there is mathematics, there is biology, and even computer science for that matter in schools, but no earth science. There is no earth science in any of the science exhibitions. There is physics experiments, chemistry experiments, biology experiments, there is nutrition and health, but there is no earth science. There is no awareness of earth sciences, right? I put them in red to attract your attention. You are attracting my attention with the lal topi. Anyway, so this is to attract your attention that there is no earth science anywhere. This is where the National Education Policy, the Ministry of Education, NCERT come into play. This is where we have to work and make things happen. Try to change the syllabus slightly without loading the child's bag and the mind too much. It is still possible to start to put a new subject called earth science. Right now what's happening in the school level is earth science topics are put in geography, they are put in general science, social studies, a lot of it in geography. So much so that parents think that it is an art subject, and as a result, art science topics. How do you like it? Is this what we want in our schools? Have a thought about that, and just pulling out these earth science topics from all of these subjects and putting it as a separate subject called earth science or earth and environmental science, something like that. So that will show children that there is something called earth science. So they may get fascinated. Some will study earth science, maybe geology, maybe atmospheric science, maybe ocean science when they grow up for masters and PhD, and they become good scientists, good professors in all of these fields. But right now, that's not happening. But we still have good scientists, all of you, exclude me. So we must have earth science as a separate subject in schools. And in this context, I would say that the ministry to ministry level discussion and action is needed. See, if I go and tell the Ministry of Education or NCERT, they'll say, get lost. They'll not much care. But if, let me be honest and plain, if Dr. Ravichandran minds, he can talk to the Secretary, Minister of Education, and ministry to ministry contact is something different from individual to ministry contact. So this is an appeal to the ministry and to you, Dr. Ravichandran. to do something about it. I know it's difficult and you are bogged down with so many other responsibilities, but if possible, do this. Rope in doing all this, rope in enthusiastic youngsters, retired professors and scientists who are interested in still doing science or science communication. And this has got to be countrywide efforts. It is, our country is huge. There are some 14 lakh schools in the country. It's a huge effort, humongous effort, but we should not get daunted by this. We are a huge country, there are so many people, we can do it. And MoES has a profound role to play. And with a dynamic person like Dr. Ravichandran at the helm, it should not be impossible, I would say. He took over as the Secretary MoES very recently. I met him earlier a few times, and I have heard about him and how he has been managing the affairs in the ministry so well. He's already a star, perhaps a much bigger star than the actor Ravichandran. You know, there is another Ravichandran in the film fraternity. So we have a bigger star in this audience today compared to that Ravichandran. So let's do it together and do something for ourselves. So my take-home message is make every day Earth Day, not just one day in a year. We just organize some function and then we should inculcate all these things into our people, into our students, so that they practice all these things every single day. They conserve resources every day. They don't pollute every day. Secondly, it is very common to see slogans like "Save the Earth." Correct? Have you heard of this slogan? Save the Earth. Let me tell you, my dear friends, that this Mother Earth, who is the patient as per Dr. Ravichandran, we are the doctors, I'll come to that later. Planet Earth is 4.5 billion, not million, billion years old. 4.5 billion years old. And she has survived many, many crises. So there have been pitch of fever came down, the so-called glacial and interglacial periods. It has happened so many times. The point is, she has survived all the disasters very successfully. Even before human beings came on to this planet Earth, even before doctors came here, I want to take up your terminology just for fun's sake, not trying to decry what you said. So even before doctors came, the patient was already there, and the patient has recovered even without us. So the point I'm trying to make is, let's not bother about saving the Earth. The Earth will survive for many more years or billions of years. But what we have got to bother about is, we have to save ourselves. There's no need, and she has survived, and for billions of years she has survived and lived happily. And in this process, several species got extinct. We call mass extinctions. There have been 4 or 5 major mass extinction events when a lot of species got wiped out. But again, species evolved. So it's been a continuous process. Instead, I would say, save humanity. We have to save ourselves. We will not bother about saving the planet. I would say that if we want to live for the next 1 million years, we should stop doing what we've been doing to planet Earth and to us and to the environment. So unless we change our attitude and our behavior towards the environment, we may not survive for 1 million years. Why 1 million years? I don't know. I do not want to speak negatively, but such warnings are needed for the society. There's also talk about artificial intelligence, going to annihilate humans. That's a possibility. But even if that doesn't happen, and if we continue doing the same way, then we are going to kill ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been a very patient audience. Thank you so much for your time and attention. If there is time, I'd like to take questions if there are any. Or if there is no time, it's okay. I leave it to the organizers.
Now, as we come to the end of this event for today, only to be continued tomorrow, I request Dr. Jagbir Singh, the man behind all of this event, Scientist G and Program Head Outreach, to propose the formal vote of thanks. Thank you, sir.
Namaskar and good afternoon all. Thank you so much to all Ministry of Earth Sciences, scientists, staff, and particularly I am grateful for our Secretary Sahab who gave one guideline that I would like to just take 2 minutes on that. Actually, we celebrate Earth Day every year, and this year particularly what had been focused as suggested by our secretary that we should focus on aspirational districts of country, number 1. Number 2, we should focus on the girls students and differently abled ones too. When we say logic is definitely I could understand easily that when we say that girls students, when we focus on them, they are the that building the society and taking any message forward long way. So in line with that, as suggested, I would like to apprise here that we had received more than about 150 proposals, and out of them we are doing for about 75 places we are contributing, supporting, and the activity is going to be there at more than 75 places. And that is covering approximately 20 aspirational districts of country. Of course, there would be other occasions when we would be covering others also. So this is for this year, and this is just prior to the Earth Day tomorrow. This lecture enlightening us. Thank you so much, sir. And I take opportunity here to invite all here Ministry of Earth Sciences and our India Meteorological Department, National Center for Medium Range Forecast, and all our Ministry of Earth Sciences family for tomorrow grand way celebration on the occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and coinciding with the Earth Day 2023 on 22nd April tomorrow. We are going to have with us United Nations Ambassador for Culture, 3-time Grammy awardee, world famous Ricky Cage with us tomorrow. 6:30 he will be here, and Honorable Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, he will be chief guest with our respected Secretary Dr. Ravichandran sir. Already that is that in big way float. So tomorrow also we look forward. We welcome you all to join the celebration on Earth Day 22nd April, and this has been in line with the life theme of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav by Ministry of Culture too. Definitely there would be many activities in pipeline which we will be doing as has been advised by our Honorable Secretary. So that we will be coming up throughout this year. I would like to also apprise here that just to esteemed Professor Shankar, that since this ministry has formed from 2006, earlier that was the situation that Earth Sciences was having bit, that you are right, sir. That time it was not finding place in science exhibitions, but from then and now it has been further accelerated that we are taking part of most of the exhibitions and science fair with, and also I would like to mention that now public look forward for ministry's public-oriented service and advisory. Particularly, you are well aware that whether it is weather climate or whether it is even that rim countries for tsunami warning systems and everywhere now, and geoscience also. Anyway, just to conclude here with, and praying God that enlighten us, and definitely from our ancient time, by our wisdom that our Pujaniya, our Purvas, who gave the thought of that Prithvi Mata and Vasdam Kutumbakam from the Vedas to now that after independence, when we are a constitution, there are articles, definite articles are there, which says that we are to go along with to save our Mother Earth and environment. So just paying just respect to all this system, I just like to thank you all very much, whosoever have attended this and graced this occasion, and particularly Professor Shankar and my senior colleagues here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your words and very important announcements. Now I request all of the members to rise for national anthem.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
भारत माता की
Now all are requested for a working lunch at the auditorium foyer. Thank you.